All right. So let's just tell me your names and your affiliation or your
My name's
company.
Maureen Cronin. I'm a co-founder of Worldways Strategy and Creative.
I'm the other co-founder.
Okay, Mark. Well, I just got to tell you, I really enjoyed the conversation that we just had. It's really a privilege to kind of all this marketing experience that you have and applying to social change. And one of the things hoping you could share with me is in my work at Ecologic, we're thinking about how do you change behavior. And it seems like that's an issue that you've thought a little bit about. And just, you really seem to have a method that makes an impact and has clearly been a method that's proven to offer some success for your business.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping you can share how are we going to change behavior.
Mark could probably speak to the actual specifics of it, but I can give you an overview, which is we actually think it's really important that when you are talking about behavior change, you understand that it really needs to be sustainable, and that what you want to do is you want to take your time, you want to make sure that you can evaluate it, you want to make sure that you can prove that you moved the meter from one type of a behavior that was not particularly beneficial or helpful for the person, the society, or the world, and that you somehow made a meter change, and that not only have you made that change happen, but that you've created a sustainability method with which people can keep it going and become advocates for it. One of the most important things we think when we work on it is that you have a model, you have principles, and you have strategy. We use a 5-step plan, and Mark and Ed Maybach actually wrote and have something called Healthy People for Healthy Places model. And you want to share some of what you and Ed and Maureen have in that model?
Sure. Yeah, I think, Shaun, one of the really interesting things is when people think about changing someone else's behavior, the first thing to think about is how hard it is to change your own, and to recognize that it's really, really difficult just to change yourself. And then when you set an objective to help other people change, it's even more of a challenge. What I get most excited about and have in my work, whether it's related to financial behavior change or health behavior change or behavior change in terms of how one contributes to the community and either adds to or detracts from the environment, is to really understand which influences are contributing the most to either making change happen or keeping change from happening. So for example, sometimes we don't change because of things inside of us, our beliefs, our feelings, our heart, our mind, maybe even just what we know. But other times we really want to change and we know what we need to know to change, but we can't. Well, why can't we? Well, maybe the groups or the norms around us just make it so uncomfortable that we can't. And so maybe our work as people working to change behavior are to help change norms. Sometimes even the group wants to change, but the built environment just doesn't allow it. If a child can't get exercise because the playgrounds are too dangerous and too hostile, if a child can't eat well because there just is no access to healthy food, until those conditions change, you really can't focus on asking an individual to make some choices. And as a lot of us, I think especially in the global world know, sometimes those conditions are driven by laws, policy, and culture, and sometimes the greatest impact you can have is you might have to change the law first. Now the magic, if there is magic, is smart people sitting around a table, really thinking through what's the portfolio of investment that we need to make and when. When do we focus on the individual? When do we focus on the built environment? When do we focus on law and policy? And how do we put the right investment portfolio together over time that we get the most amount of change in the shortest period of time with the least amount of resources? And like Maureen said, I think there's a proven method and model to do that, but it only works when there's smart people around the table.
Now I understand you've worked with healthcare, you've worked with city governments, you work with nonprofits on causes, and I understand you kind of have these 5 steps.
Actually, yeah, we do have 5 steps, and there are many other social scientists that have come before us that have taught these steps at universities, and so this is an established way. What we kind of do is we have a 5, we look and we say, well, you know, there's a time and place where an individual, a city, or an organization might not have any, might not know that there needs to be a change that happens. Then because of a variety of factors, there might come a time and place where people think that, yeah, smoking isn't really good for society, for individuals, so maybe we should change some of that. Then at the next stage, they might think, okay, well, I need to start planning on how we're going to change that. How are we going to get people to stop smoking? How are we going to make that happen? Then again, you start getting the action where people say, you know what, I am going to quit smoking. I'm going to do it for a variety of reasons, which I heard way back there. And then the third is like I actually take my action and I actually do quit. I quit smoking or I quit a bad behavior. And I say, and I'm going to keep it and it's sustainable. And oh yeah, I'm going to become an advocate and I'm going to help others quit, or I'm going to encourage other people as an example to quit smoking. That was maybe an example of how you would do it, going from a smoking society to a non-smoking society, or a smoking individual to a non-smoking individual. It basically just runs a spectrum where I don't know I have a problem all the way to the other end, where it's like I have fixed my problem and now I've changed my life somewhat, I've changed my behavior, and I'm also going to become the kind of person that lets other people know that they help them change their behavior too.
I agree.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.